Okay, so recently I put up a video short on our Reels, whether it's Instagram or Facebook that you guys follow us, and we were talking about getting a new cigar in that is meant for the OGT Cigar Society. So this is an exclusive blend. This is something we've been working on, but there's still some steps to go through. As I talked in a previous video, like there are certain things, how to taste a cigar, what process we go to into discovering what we want to do with the blend. And that video was titled How I Try New Cigars, or kind of go into that journey. So this is the actual tasting of the blend. This is kind of seeing what the tobacco will say, and I want you to come with me along on that journey. Without further ado, you are watching Oakland Tobacconist. If you're interested in this blend or many other fantastic boutique cigars, make certain you follow us on social media, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. Most importantly, you need to join our email list. That is where you're going to get up-to-date information. You're going to get our best deals we offer, everything you need for Oakland Tobacconist. Please do not forget to like, to comment, subscribe. Please hit the bell. Make certain you're smashing all those buttons so that you're alerted every time we produce new content. So as I said in a previous video, this is a cigar that just came in. This is coming exclusively for the membership. The names are hidden to protect the innocent. No, but this is a project that we have coming later on this year. Should be this year for the society. This cigar did not exist outside of the membership, and so now we're kind of going through the process. Some of the names are covered up because we're not necessarily in that phase yet. But I want to take you through how we taste a cigar. There are plenty of times when I say you need to let the tobacco speak. What do I mean by that? So many times we will get a hold of a limited cigar, an expensive cigar, and people say, oh, I just don't know the right occasion to smoke it. And a lot of times I'm like, the best occasion is to smoke it when you can give it the attention it deserves. Just like enjoying it for what it is. You're not distracted. You're not in a crazy space. You're not like watching TV. Like let it speak. And I try to let that happen when we are going through blends. So this is a dark Maduro that we have been working on. Sometime, in fact, I'm trying to remember like when we started this project. Very dark, very oily, rich looking, but also very strong. So we have worked with this blender before. I'm going to go ahead and give this a cold draw and see where it brings us as we get first impressions. And there are three main things I'm looking for on the cold draw. And that is the draw itself, texture, that meaning like, what is it? Sometimes you get spicier, saltier type of like notes that are on the tobacco leaf itself, and that would get like tingling on the tongue or on your lips or something like that. And then also flavor. Is there any flavor coming through? So the draw is really good, very almond forward, no textural like spice going on with it. So looking at this, I like to take a look at like the wrapper itself. When we're going through this is released a finalized release, so it's not like we're going through samples or anything like that. We know this cigar, but is it ready to be released? Does it need to be laid down? Well, that is what I'm hoping to discover as we smoke this. We're going to let the tobacco speak. A lot of people ask too, why do you toast the cigar? And it's very important because you want those tobaccos to burn at the even rate. You want the filler, the binder, and the wrapper all to burn at the same time. So right out the gate with this cigar, I am getting a lot of flavor, a burst of flavor. Also, I would say a burst of strength as well. Cayenne pepper a little bit, whether that's normal like black pepper or cayenne. I'm going to go with cayenne on this. Also followed by a bit of like cardamom spices, a bit of breadiness as well. Also a bit of sweetness, like a very like dried fruit, rich, like plummy type sweetness. Overall, you get most of your pepper going on the retrohale. You get a little bit texturally on the palate, but most of those spicier tones are going to happen through the retro and then the flavor throughout. Something I also look for, especially with a Maduro. Now, the common misconception with Maduros is that Maduro equals strength, and as we know, that's not always the case. There are a lot of cigars out there that are not Maduros that are definitely stronger than what you'll see on the darker leaf. However, it does suggest to me certain things like sweetness and also body. Now, whether or not these things deliver, I know personally a cigar doesn't have to be strong. A Maduro doesn't necessarily have to be strong, but I do want it to have a little bit of like flavor oomph to it. It suggests to me chewy, rich, or at least a fuller-ish body. Some of the Maduros that are not my palate, and this is not across the board for everyone, but I don't necessarily care for the ones that are super light, super wispy, and they're a darker leaf. I want to taste that rich sweetness that you find. I want to taste that kind of full texture on the body, especially when it comes to Maduro. So I kind of look for that, and that entails a longer finish a lot of the time. When you try that cigar, when you bring it in, then you retro, does it still linger on the palate? And that's something, whether it's Maduro or even Connecticut, I think most of us prefer a stronger-ish flavor, a richer flavor, and that includes a longer finish. Now, unfortunately, I can't necessarily show going through the process, but I can tell you in between what's going on with it. And that is, like I said, a lot of like dried fruits, plum, good spice on the retro, texturally a little salty as well, and a touch bit of cardamom-like spices I had mentioned, breadiness for sure, maybe hints of like almost like chocolate-covered almonds where you have hints of chocolate, but it's also nutty as well. And then that finish lingers for a decent amount of time, and that's what I like. But what I need to determine is when this comes through, this is definitely going to be on the heavier side. It's definitely fuller. It's definitely stronger. Is this cigar ready to be released now? And several factors are going to play it here. Whether it's the flavor, whether it's the strength, whether it's the burn. I've had some cigars smoking beautifully in terms of the construction, it's burning properly, but it's just so heavy. We want to let it rest, and when you let that rest, you get some of the tobaccos to marry, smoother, overall well-balanced. Whereas this, I will definitely say it's heavier, it's stronger, but I also notice that the inside is burning a bit more, so which tells me it's a little bit still like moisture. So I think at the very least, 2 or 3 weeks of kind of acclimating to the humidor is definitely going to serve this even better than it is now. But it's definitely there. And I will say the heaviness of the flavor, the long finish, the fullness of the body strikes me as this being a cigar that's going to age really, really well. Now, whether we do that aging prior to releasing it for the membership, or we want you to do that yourself, or if you want to like work back and forth on that, I definitely see this cigar just improving over the next couple of years. But I also like the aggressiveness, and I don't necessarily want the aggressive like strength of this cigar to go away either. I want to kind of see where it goes, have the opportunity to try it and see that transformation versus just trying it after it's been aged to a bit more smooth. I do think if you get the right cigar that responds well to being laid down for a while, you get those sharper tones and those flavor notes that are pulling you in so many different directions to basically marry and like round out its flavor profile. So something to consider, and that's the question I have for you guys. Drop down in the comments, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a cigar more aggressive and kind of like taking you to different areas, or do you prefer something more well-balanced and rounded? Because I feel like in a blend like this, with its strength and what the tobaccos we're using, along its journey of life, you're going to be able to try both of those aspects. So it just really depends. I think there's a place for me for both. I enjoy both. I think that's why I like to age cigars, but I also like to see where they were in the beginning. And that is why I like to do the 5-pack like range. But this is coming for the Oakland Tobacconist OGT Cigar Society, and when it is coming, we shall see, because we're kind of taking it through that journey and seeing where it's going to land. But what I can tell you, this is a fantastic, dark, rich Maduro, long finish, full flavor, full body, medium plus strength. I would definitely say medium plus. It's got a kick to it. Sometimes we have more of that like medium smoothness to medium plus. This is straight up medium plus. It's got quite a bit going on it, but really, really good like full flavor. Stay posted, guys, because this is going to be coming as you'll see us posting more, as well as check out OGT Cigar Society if you want a 5-pack. As I say, this blend did not exist and does not exist outside of the membership. As always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for following me with this journey into sort of taste testing. We'll go beyond that as well in further videos to come. Until next time, you have been watching Oakland Tobacconist.